Get ready to rock out with your talk out. It's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Moms and boys and girls and grandmas, it's the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Wow, you mixed up the order.
You get sick of the same shit.
That's true.
So Mr. Pittsburgh and I, welcome to Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Yeah.
Let's get things started first. Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. I am your host, Loudini. We got Mr. Pittsburgh Kevin.
Hey, everybody.
In the house today. Please hit up rockrageradio.com and check out their great programming. 24/7, great music programming, as well as music from the 412.com. Great music programming, but centered around the Pittsburgh area. So if you like some local flavor.
Delicious.
Yes, right out of the murky Allegheny.
Yummy.
River.
Yummy.
What are the three rivers again? Oh, Allegheny, Monongahela, and Ohio.
Ohio?
Ohio. What state is high in the middle and round on each end?
Which one?
God. What's the matter with people?
I don't know.
So,
Yes.
let me ask you, Mr. Pittsburgh.
Yes.
The game where you throw the ball up in the air and whoever catches it, like you just try to kill them. What's that game called?
Dodgeball.
No, dodgeball is when you stand in a row and you try to hit somebody with the ball.
Oh, I thought that's how it started. It's
No,
been a while.
You throw the ball up, and you get all your friends together.
Yeah.
You throw the ball up in the air, and whoever catches the ball, they've got to run until everybody tackles them and just smashes them down. You know what that's called? What did you call? You never played that game?
I never played that game.
Well, this bit is going nowhere.
Yeah, we were just like.
This bit is literally going fucking nowhere.
I grew up in Pittsburgh. We just stabbed each other.
We played it in Pittsburgh. I played it everywhere. I played it at Faith Community. I played it in Canonsburg. I played with my friends at the church.
It's starting to come back.
It was called Smear the Queer.
Oh, I canceled that out of my head.
So I was. Don't mind me while I pick my nose.
Because Lord knows I'm not going to pick your nose. I'm just saying.
You can pick your friends. So somebody posted a picture this week of a kid running with a ball and all his friends. I think it was AI generated, and that's what they said. They're somebody throws a ball up in the air and everybody tries to kill the person with what did you call that? And every single I thought nobody else knows Smear the Queer.
Right.
They're going to call it kill the guy with the ball or whatever.
Sure.
Every person wrote Smear the Queer. That's why I thought for sure you would know Smear the Queer.
Well, now that you bring it up, I remember it. I just never played it.
Oh, dude, it was fun.
Wow.
It was fun. It was fun until you were the queer.
Exactly.
The key was to not be the queer. Did you want to do all the smearing? But kids were. That's boys.
Yeah, that is boys.
That's how, boys were like, oh my God, it's so fucking hard.
Luckily, we're not like that anymore.
We all growed up now.
Yeah, we're smart. That.
And that.
We're mature.
We're mature.
That's one word for us.
Mature like manure.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to say anything.
We're manure.
I didn't want to say anything.
You ain't manure.
Oh, thanks. You ain't manure either.
Isn't that Jewish thing, a menorah?
It's a little different. The spelling's a little different. Menorah.
Menorah. I stepped in a giant pile of menorah.
Oh, no.
I stepped on a giant pile of menorah.
That's a great voice.
Saul, I didn't mean to.
That's a great one.
Who's that guy? He's in love with Lois on Family Guy.
Oh, man. He's
Mort.
Mort. That's
Mort?
it. Yeah.
Listen, Mort.
Yeah, that's a great voice you got there. What a lovely singing voice you must have.
So
wait a second.
What?
You not only do great podcasts, you fucking play guitar too? Dude, the surprises from you never end.
Yeah. So thank you. Yes. So if you would like, as we go through, we talk about some of the different music here. you can email me for the tabs for that stuff. If you're a guitar player, you know what that is. And we can hook up. I do guitar lessons group. The group thing.
Nice, man.
It's like group sex, but it's group guitar.
Whoa.
And solo private lessons. The group thing is very cool because what ends up happening is like you end up learning from everybody in the group. Mm-hmm. People bring I'll introduce something, and then somebody will have some different take on it, and then like you get to pick up on that. And the other thing that's really cool is like they all start teaching each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when you start teaching something, you learn it like way better. Mm-hmm. I cannot stress, like if you go on like, I don't know if I want to take group guitar lessons, I'm telling you, like it is, and then you end up making friends. Anytime I've been involved in these like coaching groups or educational groups or whatever, anytime I got people from like 20 years ago that I'm still friends with because we met in those groups, and like they chime in on like different videos that I do, and we like hit each other up, and it's like, and it was sometimes when we're in town, we will like go get a drink or something, you know. Mm-hmm. You end up making really like deep friends because you're all kind of focused on one thing. We're all into it. It's very cool. Something that I would encourage you to consider. So you can find out more about that at loulombardimusic@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. Say lessons. Say, you know, if I say a song, I'll tell you. Say put the song title in the email, and I'll send you the tablature for it. Anyways, nice. So all the business is out of the way, right?
Well,
no.
Are we going to talk about what you did this week?
Yeah, but I mean, like the bullshit,
the nitty as well as the gritty.
Yeah, that was total bullshit.
All right.
Yes, now we're getting into the real bullshit.
Ah, nice.
We were just doing, you know.
I didn't mean to rush you into the bullshit, man.
Just doing the half-ass bullshit.
The bull menorah, man. I didn't want to send you right in there.
Menorah.
Sorry about that.
All right, Saul, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it. So let's talk about. Let me ask you a question. I'll start.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
So I found this. I found this YouTube channel. Some of you will not like it or agree with the guy. But
okay,
I like this video that he did about music.
All right, then.
And the title of the video is something like, so the channel is called Richard IV. And it's not an AI channel. The guy's a real guy. He's British. Uh-huh. And he talks a lot about, you know, like, it's very philosophical and spiritual, and, you know, he talks a lot about, you know, the world situation, history, and things like that. Uh-huh. So, but he threw his 2 cents in this week. Something like, why is today's music crap? So it wasn't very elegantly worded or something, but you can find it on the Richard IV YouTube channel. I put a link to it in the show notes.
Yes.
So one of the things that came up in this talk was the idea of diversity in music.
Okay.
And his sort of take is, to sum it up, is that diversity is actually, first of all, it's not diverse. And second of all, it's actually hurting music. And he plays dude, he says this thing. I had to listen to it 3 times to make sure I heard him say it.
Okay.
He says something like, he shows this clip of Morrissey, you know, talking. Mm-hmm. And he says something about Morrissey, Morrissey was this and that. And he says, you know, for an Irishman, you know. and I was like, what? I'm like, he didn't say that. Then I went back and reviewed it a couple times. Like, no, he literally said for an Irishman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No,
he's
like,
British. Okay.
And I think so. I think it was a joke. I think it was like a, you know, sarcastic.
I would hope so.
He was wisecracking.
Sure.
You know what I mean? On poor Morrissey. But, you know, the idea is that, like, there's this sort of feeling that people have, I think, and if I say this to you, I think that you're going to say you agree with this, that something, I don't know what date we could put on it, but I think we could start saying around the mid-2000s, maybe even the early 2000s.
Okay.
Everything started to become very homogeneous.
Yeah.
What were the really, like, mind-blowing, innovative films that will carry on for the next 100 years that happened during that period?
Yeah.
After, you know what I mean? Like, what albums were released that are going to be, like, you know, till time immemorial are going to be classics? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, what actors from that era are, like, you know, going to be like immortalized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was like, so it's very weird. So he brings this up, and one of the issues that a lot of musicians are saying, and he brings up too, is that like there's this homogenized thing, and he goes into great detail on it and gets into why he feels rap is so successful and things like that. But there's like a homogenized ideal that's in all music, and it's actually in all movies and all television shows. It's this very weird, like it's like stuff that was subversive in the 90s is actually mainstream now.
Right.
And everybody still, that's what the problem is. I think I figured it out. That's what the problem is. And everybody's still touting the same stuff. I mean, Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, talked about, they espoused transgenderism. Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic came on stage like cross
dresses, yes,
stuff like that. Like they did a lot, feminism, all these kind of like different things, the sort of socialist ideas and stuff like that, and disillusionment with. It's kind of like Western deconstruction of Western culture. They're kind of deconstructing rock.
Yeah.
Because you looked at like the rock that came in the 80s versus that rock. It's still rock, but it's like a deconstructed rock. So it's got that whole thing, and it seems like we're still doing that. Mm-hmm. It's still this whole like people like, and your culture is if music and movies and art and stuff are just espousing the mainstream culture, it's not really innovative. It's not really doing anything. It's not like taking you anywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the issue. I mean, how do you feel about like how sort of things have gone in the past, say, 15 years? Culture, like with regards to the arts, and because didn't you now politics, like culture is kind of down. This is the other thing that's happened. Culture is kind of like downstream of politics. It used to be the other way around,
right?
Politics were downstream of culture,
exactly.
And this is because there is no culture. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think that as time went on, maybe the internet helped because you were able to. Be exposed to all these different cultures, but it all seemed to kind of blend together where you don't have like middle class, like I'm going to talk about music. You don't have that middle class white, especially here in Pittsburgh, very industrial kind of rock and roll, where it's kind of been blended now with maybe
blue collar.
Yeah, blue collar kind of rock.
They're like the kind of guys that like came out of the steel mill in the 70s or 80s would be
got in their Trans Ams and flicked on the radio, and that's the song you're going to hear.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we don't have like there is none of that. That is completely gone.
Yeah.
It's interesting. All the artists, all the white artists, espouse communism or socialism. The only people that are allowed to like money are rappers.
Yeah, right.
And they're allowed to talk about sex too. If white guys
money.
If white guys sing songs about sex, they're called rapey.
Yeah.
So I've heard that. I've heard Gen Zers say, refer to AC/DC's lyrics as like they're a good band, but their lyrics are kind of rapey.
Wow.
Rapey.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
No, wrongo mongo. Men like women.
I'm sorry.
So we sing songs about it.
Sure.
It's not rapey. Stop it. You guys are crazy. It's okay.
They're crazy.
It's okay. Miss Pittsburgh, you're crazy.
Well, I know I'm crazy.
It's okay.
I was taking a sip of my iced tea here and realized it wasn't as hard as I wanted.
While Mr. Pittsburgh gets hard, I'm going to talk about another thing while he's taking his Viagra.
My mixology experiment.
Do you know Chino Moreno? I shouldn't say it like that. I'm making it sound like Speedy
Why
Gonzales.
is she Italian?
No, Chino Moreno is the leader of the band The Deftones.
Oh, all right.
And the Deftones have had like a big resurgence recently, and they are playing these mega shows, and they're selling out everywhere. It's making me want to go see them.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like, People are like, man, you got to see this tour. It's like really good. But anyways, they are working on a new record, and they've been working on it for a while. They're taking their time, and they want to make it really good. So I'm really excited to hear what they're going to come up with. But so Rockfeed did this video this week. You could check out Rockfeed on YouTube. Great channel. Professional, unlike us. I mean, that guy has he's got a script. He's like boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's crazy talk.
Yeah. We're like, we're sitting here, half kicked in the ass. Anyways, isn't there a drunken movie podcast? Like two guys get drunk and talk about movies.
I'm sure there is. I don't.
That's
follow
not Red Letter Media though. They don't get drunk.
No, they don't get drunk.
Okay. So Chino Moreno says he's sick of people like these autograph assholes. Okay. Listen, he's not talking about the true fan that says could sign my poster or whatever. Like he's talking about that, and they showed this. He's just coming out of a store, and there's a whole bunch of people with they got 20 things each they want signed. Yep. And and so that's bullshit, guys. Don't do that. That's very distasteful. I get what's happening is people are getting 20 things signed, putting 19 of them on eBay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what they're doing. And these artists are wise to that. Excuse me, Dave Grohl, Chino Moreno, these guys all have, believe it or not, they have smartphones. They can get on the internet too. Maybe you didn't realize that. You didn't realize that, but they do. Don Henley gets on the interview every night to make sure nobody puts up an Eagles video. He does. I'm not lying.
I know. That's why I'm laughing. That's true.
That dude's fucked up, dude. Wow. A lot of people I grew up really liking are totally fucked. I understand why Gen Zers and millennials look at us because you're right. Well, what are you? I got to hand it to you. A lot of people we grew up liking got problems, but in my defense, Don Henley is a boomer. He's not a Gen Xer. Okay.
Yeah. Can't blame that on us.
So anyways, so Chino is done. Dave Grohl's done. They're just we're just not doing it anymore. It's ridiculous. It's disrespectful, and and they're not going to turn down if they're signing at an at a merchandise table, and you buy 5 things of merchandise right there. I'm sure they're going to sign them.
Yeah,
I mean that's different. You know what I mean? We're talking just randomly being accosted at places. There's a hilarious video with the guy, and I'm so sorry I do not know this gentleman's name. He is the lead singer for Third Eye Blind.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he actually quizzes people about the band.
Oh, brilliant.
How well, okay, you really want
what's your favorite song?
Yeah. He'll say,
there's so many.
Yeah.
Name one.
Yeah. So he does shit like there's a video of him in an airport, and he's just not having it.
Yeah.
He's like, if you're a real fan, you'll fill in the blanks here. There's a so guys, just don't. You get your one thing signed if you're a fan. If you're doing the eBay thing, man, I don't have anybody making a living, but just let you know, these dudes are getting aggravated. You might say, well, fuck them, they're famous. That comes with the territory. I mean, there is that side of it too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You want to be famous. You got. Well, do you remember when was it? Was it Ringo? Like they released the video about 15, 20 years ago. It played it on Stern over and over and over.
Yeah.
Peace and love, peace. How do you? I can't do his voice. Peace and love, no more autographs.
Oh yes. The interview. Yeah. Oh man, dude. Let me ask you something. Hey, Lou. Let me ask you something. Do you have any autographs?
I have to. I might. I don't know. Yeah. I was never a big autograph seeker.
So I don't have any because I'm the same way. Oh, I do have one. That's because my daughter wanted to get this guy's autograph. I just happened to be standing in line with her. It was one of the Penguins. So I have a Pittsburgh Penguins. But I don't have any musicians or movie actresses, movie actors, pets of movie actors. I don't have any autographs.
I have to have somebody's autograph. I can't believe I don't have somebody. I got somebody's. I just don't remember. But I was never like, oh, you signed my butthole. I'm never like that.
They might have liked
so
that.
speaking of signing your butthole, Mr. Pittsburgh is here.
Hi.
And what do you want to start with?
Oh boy, we got lots of stuff. All right, we'll start with some happy news, folks. If you grew up listening to music in the '60s and '70s, or maybe if you listen to that kind of music now, you have heard this woman. She's a bass player. Actually, she's a guitar player also. But she was part of something called the Wrecking Crew. And hey, let's just say you're the Beach Boys, and you want to release a new album. And maybe you're not recording is a difficult process. Maybe you're just not up to it. You would hire studio musicians. And at the time, during the 60s and so, there was a group of musicians that always seemed to be called upon, called the Wrecking Crew. Well, this lady, Carol Kaye, was the bass player. She came up with Good Vibrations. That's her.
I know one she came up with. And I was trying to remember how to play, but it won't come to me. The beat goes on.
That's what I was just thinking of too. Yeah, so she's played on everything.
Sonny and Cher. The beat goes on.
Yeah, the beat. Sorry for you millennials. There's a group called Sonny and Cher. Anyway, Carol Kaye celebrated her 90th birthday this week. So this is a little belated because a couple of days ago. But Carol Kaye, you're awesome. Go ahead.
No,
there's a great video of her and Gene Simmons, and she tries to show. Gene because she's.
I thought Gene was shoving his tongue down her throat or something. You know?
That would have been that was afterwards. But she's trying to show him just like a basic jazz progression, and Gene's brain just could not wrap itself around that. He could not get it. But I thought it was really cool that at the time she was probably like in her 70s. This little 70-year-old was out bassing Gene Simmons. So that's
not hard to do. But I love Gene.
Yeah,
I love Gene.
I love Gene.
Don't give me.
I love him long time.
I love hygiene too.
I do like hygiene. I took a shower before.
What if everybody says it to him? Hi, Gene.
He's like, I don't want to hear it. That's enough.
I never heard that.
That's enough.
I respect Gene Simmons. After I read his book, man, I was like, just because not everybody's gonna do everything you like,
right?
You know what I mean? They're human fucking beings.
Uh-huh.
You know, everybody was like, remember when Dave Grohl fucked that chick and got her pregnant and all that?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, it was so shattered.
Oh, it's crazy.
He's a rock star. That's probably not the only chick he was fucking.
No, it was.
There's probably several.
He's very.
I mean, he's very popular. He's a very popular guy.
Sure.
And there's something about famous guys and women. Women love famous guys.
Sure.
They are really attracted to that. That's not sexist. It's a fucking fact. And,
what's wrong with being sexy?
There's nothing wrong with being sexy. Yeah. So, and speaking of what I was trying to say was, Carol Kaye.
Yes.
Had a lot of boyfriends amongst the Wrecking Crew.
Oh my!
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, they don't delve into that in the documentary of the Wrecking Crew, but she was a fine looking.
She did. No, she
lady.
Absolutely did.
Yeah, she's a fine looking lady. Back in
I heard
the day.
some of these other guys talk about. Talk about trying to get with her.
Good for her. You know what? Screw the guy. Good for her, man.
So cool.
Carol, go get you some. But happy birthday, 90th birthday. Wow.
And I actually, under my birthday, born this week, I do have Carol Kaye on there as well.
All right, good.
Yes, she was born.
I just
I talked about Chino Moreno. So check this out.
Yeah?
I listened to a mini podcast on Poetic Wax this week. David Bowie's swimming pool was possessed.
Lucy, explain.
So I will direct you to the Poetic Wax podcast on YouTube. This is one of those 17, 15 minute
Okay. Yeah,
things. It's not super long.
Then. Yeah.
But he recounts the period of Bowie's life in the 70s when he was known as the Thin White Duke.
Okay.
And David Bowie was heavily into cocaine and just he was trying to dry out. He went to the same rehab as Iggy Pop and then they escaped there and went to England. It's just a crazy story. This was a wild period. But anyways, during this period, David Bowie became convinced that the swimming pool, that there was some kind of demonic being or something that lived in his swimming pool. And the reason he felt that he was like hexed, that there was like, bad juju around him and stuff like that. And the reason is this.
Oh, do tell.
He had some kind of argument with Jimmy Page, and he swore up and down that Jimmy Page put a hex on him. And
I put a spell on you.
The bass player who played with Deep Purple when David Gilmour was in there, Glenn Hughes. Him and David Bowie lived together. And Glenn Hughes was he's like, David was like, Jimmy is terrifying. I don't want nothing to do with him. And like David died, 2015 or 17 or something like that, And he hadn't spoken to Jimmy Page since like the 70s.
Wow.
And they knew all the same people, and he did everything he could to avoid Jimmy Page.
Wow.
Because he swore. So they ended up hiring some kind of white witch to come. Anyways, it's a crazy story. I highly recommend that you check it out. Poetic Wax. I subscribe to theirs. He does a good job. It's very well done. Well scripted. It's tight. He's not and all over the place. He does a really good job.
Like
does
me.
Like us. And great visuals. He incorporates great visuals along with it as well. Cool. What do you got?
So, Lou, you're nice in bands. You were in quite a few more bands than me, Nat. And sometimes bands
in it.
They just
let's get down to bands in that.
I got my disability check.
Pow!
And a band's in that. And sometimes, things run their course. Bands break up, of course. So there is a New Jersey hard rock band by the name of Gel. Gel. This band is broken up, Lou. And it happens. The sad thing is they were set to play Coachella this year. Obviously not going to happen now because the band is broken up. Why?
Play what?
They were going to play Coachella.
What's Coachella?
You don't know about Coachella? It's like a big festival every year. With all bands come in. Stuff like that and that.
Does it feature Chico and the Man?
It might. Coachella. Anyway, so why do bands break up? Why? I mean, they break up because
they're stupid.
That's one. Maybe artistic differences or things like that. Now, the reason this band broke up was their guitar player by the name of Anthony Webster. Now, Anthony
Webster.
I knew it. I knew you were going to do that when I started writing this.
Webster.
Doo-doo-doo. Anyway.
You actually know the theme song to Webster?
Wow. Anyway, let's get back to that's the way my brain works. Can't remember what I had for dinner, but I remember the theme song for Webster. Anyway, Anthony Webster. Now, Anthony, the guitarist in the band, had access to the band's money. Oh, that can't be good, right?
The guitar player had access to the band's money.
Right. Okay. Anthony decided to use tens of thousands of dollars to pay his rent, buy groceries, this is the one that really gets it. And subscriptions for OnlyFans.
Oh.
I mean, lots of subscriptions to OnlyFans. So once this came to light, the band, shall we say, parted ways with Anthony.
Aww.
I know, what a shame. But so if you have tickets to see Gel, you're not going to see him. Not going to see him. But on a bright night, they're looking for a guitar player.
Wait a minute, I got it. And I don't have OnlyFans.
Yes, there you go.
So speaking of that,
yes.
Guitar players.
Yes.
And I think this would be a good topic for a podcast.
All right, then.
Bands whose main guy or main attraction, member who's most famous or most interesting or whatever people are paid most attention to,
right? That
isn't the lead singer.
Oh, okay.
So that might be a future
podcast. That's a good one. Billy T and I were talking the other night. Billy T is our friend from high school, Bill Thomas, and he every now and again he'll throw me a bone. He'll say, "Hey, why don't you guys talk about this on the podcast?" And he brought up Lita Ford versus Joan Jett. Okay. And I'm like, oh, it sounds familiar. Well, I was going through my Facebook. Back in 2022, we did just that podcast. I wrote it back. I'm like, oh, bro, we've already done that. And he's like, oh,
well,
sorry.
Go listen to it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Go listen to it.
I said, do you know how many times I pitched something to Lou, and Lou's like, no, we talked about that. I'm like, oh, okay.
There is nothing, though. There's nothing wrong. I'm finding this out.
Yes?
There's nothing wrong with doing it again. Especially, this is 2025.
Yeah.
Like,
if we did this back in 2017,
you know, if we did, no, I'm saying even 2022, I'd do Lita Ford and Joan Jett. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Maybe we come up with some kind of unique take on it.
Little twist.
Well, now we do the segment 2.
Yes.
Where we play the music, and we have not done a verses in that format yet, where we could go side by side, compare like guitar solos and vocal styles.
Exactly.
We could deep dive that.
Okay, so there you go.
So we could definitely do it in a different way.
Yeah,
everything's, you know, as Tom Petty said, the future is wide open.
It is.
All good stuff there. Whose turn? Where are we?
I think it's your turn.
My turn.
Oh wait, no. Go ahead.
I think you need to go.
I need to go.
You did gel,
Excuse me.
I talked about the swimming pool. So now let's talk about Billy Joel.
Can I go to the bathroom? Thank you.
Okay, all right.
To go.
All right, Ruprecht.
All right, go ahead, Bill.
Ruprecht, the
Billy
monkey
Joel.
boy over here. Dude, I saw that movie. I cried.
Yeah.
When that whole scene went down,
Oh,
I was losing my mind. When
Mother?
I came on, I was like heaving. I never forget. Me and my sister, Steve Guthrie. I don't know if I went with anybody else. It was a bunch of us.
Oh my gosh.
And we were in the theater, and I was crying. I was like, I couldn't breathe. It was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life. That's the best part of that movie. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the remake they did where they gender swapped? The whole
No.
thing?
Yeah.
Dumb, terrible.
Yeah.
Don't. It's not called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. It's called something else.
Nasty rotten pussies.
Nasty
What?
rotten-
No, that's not.
Smelly
Lou, why did you say that? That's horrible.
Well, at least I didn't talk about Eric Clapton creating Blackie. So, but anyway, so Billy Joel, you'll remember this. This is our history. Do you
Yes.
remember the Cold War?
Of course.
So when Gorbachev came in, like
Gorby.
he recognized that like this nuclear war with the United States is just dumb.
It's ridiculous.
We're not going to do this thing.
Preposterous.
And he realized they couldn't. They couldn't. His people were starving.
Right.
And they like needed to figure something out. So he started allowing more like capitalistic things. He became friends. Him and Ronald Reagan got along pretty
They're
well.
buds.
You know. And so as this was all happening, there was an interest in American culture coming to Russia.
Yes.
Now a few years ago, before all that, Elton John played Russia with a percussionist. It wasn't like a full rock show.
Right.
And there's videos of it, and I think they released an album and everything. But Billy Joel was the first ambassador over there to do like a real rock show. And he was selected because he had like many years, like at that point, like a decade and a half of big hit songs.
Right.
And a lot of people liked him, and he covered a lot of sonic territory in his shows. He wasn't like a one-trick pony. He wasn't like a Barry Manilow who was just like middle of the road.
Right.
He did do slow songs and ballads and stuff like that, but he had some
up-tempo
boogie
rockers.
woogie rocker type stuff. You know what I mean? He was a very dynamic performer. You know, live and everything like that. So this is from David Hartley's channel. He does a great history of this, and I'm just giving you the thing, but I want you to go check out David's channel. But Billy goes over there, and it's kind of going good at first. He spent his own money. He financed the thing himself. It cost $2 million in 1980s dollars.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so he goes over there. He takes a camera crew so they can film the whole thing and everything. And they did do, and he knew it would be a massively big selling album. Like he was an investment. He wasn't just blowing money. So he goes over there. He does this. Does a series of shows in Moscow and in Leningrad. There's like 6 shows or 8 shows altogether, and it's absolutely a fascinating story. Again, this is a short podcast. It's 8 to 12 minutes, something like that, and it gives you the whole story of it. But I remember this happening. Because you remember this? It came out that Billy he lost his shit and flipped the piano over and everything.
Yeah.
Well, what was going on was it took a while to get the people warmed up and like feel comfortable enough that they could get up out of their seats and boogie. They were just sitting there like, he thought they were dying. He thought like, this is going terrible, But when they came out to do the encore, he decided to jump off the stage and go out into the crowd. And when he did that, it like kind of gave everybody permission to like party with him and everything.
Exactly.
And all kind of, craziness ensued. But he didn't want the cameras on these people because these people were still afraid they would get in trouble.
Yeah, right.
By doing, they would get questioned by the police or something for doing this. I mean, this is what communism is, guys. And so he was trying to get, and it was his own crew, and it was very difficult for him to communicate from the stage what they wanted to do. They were on a program. They had worked out what they were going to do or whatever, and they were filming the thing, and they were lighting the crowd. And Billy Goat was trying to get their attention, so he flipped the piano over.
Yeah.
And people went nuts, and it came
I've never
out,
seen anything like that.
Well, that, and then people were going like, I'm going to the Leningrad show. Do you think he'll flip the piano? That's just one small part of it. David Hartley does a great job. I put a link to it in the show notes. Cool. It's very cool. So what do you got next?
My last thing here is, do you know Sophie Lloyd?
I'm a little light, Lloyd.
Exactly. Well, we're going to talk about her in the second segment of the show. Sophie Lloyd is a guitarist and has a big presence on YouTube, and I found her on TikTok, so I subscribed to her. Well, cloning must be a real thing because there are a bazillion Sophie Lloyds, and I know this because I constantly get followed by them. Sophie Lloyd 86043, Sophie Lloyd 1256, right? Okay. Well, the other day, Lou, you're not going to believe this. Sophie Lloyd DM'd me. She sent me a little text on the TikTok. Couldn't believe it, Lou.
Was she talking on TikTok?
No, but she texted me, and I couldn't believe it, Lou. I'm like, Sophie Lloyd has messaged me. Let me check it out. So I check it out. She goes, hey, how's it going? Oh, my God. It's like we're best friends, right? I said, it's going good.
Show me your wiener.
How's it going with you? And she's like, are you my number one fan? Lou.
Are you what?
Are you my number one fan?
Oh, you're my number one fan.
Yeah, I said, well, okay. Now, let's stop the story right here, folks, because if you're on TikTok, you know.
You should have said, wait a minute.
Now.
Are you Paul Sheldon? You got that joke.
I got that joke. You're not going to, what was it, hobble? You're not going to hobble me, are you?
No hobbling.
No hobbling, please, Sophie.
I don't like kinky girls.
But, I'm constantly barraged. I've gotten Sammy Hagar sent me a DM. I was very excited about that. Joan Jett, of course, has sent me a DM. When
I was more active on there, what's his name? The amazing fingerstyle guitar player from Australia. What's his name? Tommy Emmanuel.
Oh, yeah?
Was sending me messages.
That's great. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
But you know what, though?
Yes.
It wasn't anything weird. He wasn't asking for anything. He was like saying he liked nice guitar playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, for all, we're like poo-pooing it. But everybody's on TikTok. It literally, he could been at home, like, sitting there bored and ran across me. Just thought he would be complimentary to, like, an unknown guitar player. I mean, he could have, but he didn't ask for nothing. It wasn't like, it wasn't like, go to my link and buy my whatever.
Let's do this like that. But, Sophie, so, look, I'm going to let you in a little secret here, Lou.
So what happened when you said you were her number one fan?
Well, I'm going to let you in a little secret. I know it's not really Sophie Lloyd. Sometimes I like to play with these spammers or whatever they are. And I said, oh, my God, of course. Don't you remember we met 2 months ago? And we talked about your string gauge and your pickups. Here's a little pause. Thumbs up. Oh, yeah. She goes.
The person's Googling pickups.
With, I don't know what this means. Then Sophie, in air quotes, Sophie's like, where are you at? I'm like, that's not quite good grammar. So I'm in Pennsylvania.
Yo, where you at?
Yeah, maybe there's something I don't know about Sophie. So I said Pennsylvania. I said, where are you playing tonight?
You should just put your address in.
Yeah, come on over, Kaye.
Somebody else's address in
there. You, yours.
No.
And once actually Sophie shows up, and you're like, "Thanks,
Hey,
Pittsburgh, Kevin." But I said, "Where are you playing tonight?" Now at this point, I go to my browser and see exactly where she's at. Well, she's in London. Okay.
London Bridge is falling.
And she comes back. She goes, "I'm not playing tonight. Me and the band are in the studio,
In the bathroom. Oh.
in the studio practicing."
I'm washing my hair.
See, that's what Ian's got to do. You got to call her bluff. So I'm like, "No, you're." So I said, "No, Sophie's in England. Try to get your shit together before you try to spam somebody." And then I hated to do it, but I had to cut Sophie loose. I turned her loose, but
Wow, poor Sophie.
yeah. Sometimes I get bored.
You're
I mean,
mean, Mr. Pittsburgh. You a mean man.
sometimes I get bored.
You are mean. You mean.
Sometimes I get bored,
You're so mean, Mr. Pittsburgh.
and I play with them.
Why you got to be mean?
I'm gonna tell you one more story real quick. I had one chick, and I knew it was totally fake.
You're a mean man.
And where are you at? I'm in Seattle. So now I Google Seattle. And I said, "You're not going to believe this. I'm in Seattle too. I'm here for a seminar. You want to get together for a drink?" And the person's like, okay. So I give them a specific place in Seattle, a specific time. They're like, I'm here. I'm like, okay, I'm in the bar area right by the jukebox. And they're like, and I go into this big long, because I'm bored. I go into this big long story about some other chick came over. I thought it was her. I bought her appetizers and a meal, and now we're going home together. And all I got 2 days later is 3 question marks, and never heard from that person ever again. I feel bad. But yeah, the moral story is be careful on the internet. It may not actually be Doro that's DMing you.
Doro.
I'm just saying.
May not be.
May not be
Ain't gonna be
Richard
no
Marx.
Doro.
It's probably not Richard Marx talking to you.
I thought you said Rich Morris.
It might not be Rich Morris.
Do you remember Rich Morris?
I do. Wonder how he is. Wonder how he be. All right. Where are we going from here?
Where do we go from here? Okay, whatever happened to Alan Park? I interviewed the guitar player in his band, and he was also producing his albums with him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, many, many, many years ago.
Many years ago.
Many years ago.
That's beautiful. Do you have, here we go.
So,
sit down, everybody.
Listen to this. I want you guys to watch this. I would say watch this is a long video. It's about 30 minutes long.
Okay.
It's on YouTube. The channel has a great name. The channel's called Distort the Preamp. So kudos on the name. That's a great name.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called Imaginary Bass.
Imaginary bass now. Do-do-do-do. That's not the right song.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
No,
all
it's
right
okay.
now.
Don't, just continue. Have yourself
I'm
a good
all
time.
right
Get it
now.
all out. Get it all out. Let it all hang out.
No.
Randy. So what he discusses on this is just to break it down for you. It's worth it. The video is long. The video is about half an hour. You can miss the last 10 minutes. So
Okay.
if I say 20 minutes is where you're going to get the meat and potatoes. The last 10 minutes is him sort of demonstrating the Moog synthesizer. It is interesting, but the meat and potatoes of what he's talking about is really in the first 17, 18 minutes.
Okay.
So he gets into why we respond to bass.
Yeah.
And he talks about the song "Don't Stand So Close to Me," and what people don't realize, if you've only ever heard the song on the radio, you do not realize that there is this Moog bass thing that happens at the very beginning of the song. The radio does not start it there. The radio starts it with the beat is already the beat. It's like, dun, dun,
Okay.
dun, dun. It kind of kicks in with the beat already. But there's this sustained Moog bass thing. And he was saying that when I think that the guy's around our age. He got this. He heard this record when he was in high school, and he was like completely blown away by this. And he talked about listening to it, and how like it was really affecting him. And he studied about how bass frequencies create like a feeling of excitement in people. That's why it's so important in the mix. And then he talked about how do these tiny little earbuds produce bass? Because for bass you need bigger speakers, louder amplifiers. That's really but he was like, I was listening to this on a Walkman, and he takes a little sidebar and gives you a mini history of the Walkman, which came out which was originally created in Japan.
Yeah.
And it was created in Japan, and the original models that were sold in Japan were like $650, $1979.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. But eventually they would find a way to mass produce it and everything, and the rest, as they say, is history of the Walkman. Eventually the Discman, and but at the heart of it was these headphones. And he talked about resonant frequency. So in other words, when you hear a note, you're not just hearing the note. There are other there's harmonics that, not resonant frequencies. Excuse me. There are harmonics that are behind it. And what they have learned how to do with these earbuds and like the amplifiers and stuff that power the audio on your cell phones and things like that is to amplify those harmonics so they don't need the big speakers.
Okay.
Also,
all right.
The earbuds and things like that come with the little rubber things on them, and they couple to your ears, which creates like a kind of resonance within your head, and you're not really hearing the bass. But you're being kind of fooled into that you're hearing. Right. It's absolutely fascinating, and I highly recommend that you watch the video. I put a link in the show notes for it as well. So so we'll get on to all that. So let's do So Bad.
Oh yes,
it's good, right, Mr. Pittsburgh? Tell me, do you know anything about this guy?
Well, I found this guy on TikTok, and I talked about him briefly, I think on a previous podcast, and he's an older gentleman. He's got gray hair, but it's all long. Got the gray mustache with the kind of like the who was the guy from Big Lebowski that narrated? Sam Elliott. Kind of looks like kind of has a Sam Elliott look to him. And when the initial time I saw him, the
like
video,
Sam Elliott hit the wall
Sam Elliott in 50 years, yeah. But anyway,
dude, Sam Elliott's probably older than this guy. But go ahead.
I know, but he still looked good.
He
still looked good in the manly.
This is like Sam Elliott just like fucking like shit. Go ahead.
Anyway, and so when he first comes on, I'm like, all right, he's an older fella. He's got the rock and roll look, and he's got he's singing along with music, kind of a karaoke kind of thing, and then he starts singing, and this is what we.
Well, his name is Joey Breaux.
Joey Breaux.
Breaux.
Yeah.
So here he's going to do the song that was made famous by Chris Isaak.
Yes.
Who was in Silence of the Lambs, by the way.
Yes, he was. All right.
Wow, that dancing.
Yeah, dude, he's got it. I bet the chicks are all over him.
What? He's giving me a boner. He's a boner boy.
But whoa.
What?
What the hell just happened?
It's a little okay.
It's a little off.
I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you.
Yeah. Okay, I can't continue.
What's that movie, Whiplash? You're rushing it, among other things.
It's
Joey Breaux.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't.
And although I find him entertainment, I just could not subscribe to his.
I did subscribe, but I don't turn on notifications. So.
There you go.
I want to support the guy. I want to, he's having a good time. You should enjoy yourself. The biggest thing about music is you should have fun doing it.
Exactly.
Whether you become great at it or not. You can always improve.
Yeah.
There's a massive amounts of information out there.
Sure.
That you can get, and there's people like me who will happily teach you, LouLombardimusic@gmail.com.
Yes.
But the most important thing, and big thing is with the people that I work with music is like, you know, the idea that you're going to become like a great some kind of big rock star is probably not real, but that doesn't mean you can't get massive enjoyment, satisfaction. You know, I mean, one of the most satisfying things is like when you're playing a song and it's sounding really good. The level of satisfaction that you get from that, to quote an internet phrase, if you know, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's just how it is. So you know, good on you, Joey.
Yeah, God bless you, Joey, bro.
God bless you,
Jerry, bro.
Jerry, bro. Jerry, bro. Okay, Jerry, bro. Yeah, Jerry, bro. Yeah, Jerry, bro. So speaking of that,
Woo!
So let's talk about the riff of the week.
Yes.
I dropped my pick, and now I can't.
If you're over my house, there'd be hundreds of picks everywhere.
There's picks everywhere too, but I just can't reach them.
Oh shit! I don't have my wallet with my picks in it. There you go. Thank God.
So this is the riff of the week. This week is Stone in Love.
Ooh.
What's interesting about it on the recording is there's a cleanish guitar.
Uh-huh.
It starts at. Then when it comes in a second time, there's like a more punchier, chunkier guitar that comes in. So this is based on 3 chords: G, D, and C add 9, and B over G. So he starts with the G, and you want to do open strings. This isn't one of those bar chord, you know, like Iron Man. This is not like that. This is got open chords, open strings. So what's happening is first chord just the G, and it's the G5. Forget the B played with the second finger on the 5th string, and add the D note. With the 3rd finger on the 2nd string. So you got this. Next chord is D. And then you could do what they call a sus chord, or I guess if you're a jazz player, add 11. Ooh. You just add that G note to the D chord. And you do this all the time, right? We all go.
Uh-huh.
Which you've done a million times, playing the D chord,
yeah.
Just dicking around with the D chord, and you're picking up the notes on the 1st string. So you just add that G note with the pinky. And then your C add 9. Now that's not a complicated chord. C add 9 is kind of like playing that open G, except you are playing the C note on the 5th string, the open D. Actually, you're not. The open D is actually muted. The open G note, and then you're playing a D with, and so this is the D from the D chord and the D from the G chord. So that D chord, that D note is in every chord played on this. That never moves. If you put your 3rd finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, you can just keep it there for the whole riff. And there's something about doing that. Allows you to keep your hands together like really easy. So if you're more on the beginner side of things, this is like a kind of like good riff to learn, and it impresses your friends. And the other sort of this again, it sounds like a complicated chord, but it's not. It's just literally moving one finger. Is the B over G, and that is just made by turning the C note that you're playing on that C add 9 to a B by just moving it down 1 fret, playing with the 1st finger. And then back to G. Now there's a cool, very cool lick in there.
Okay.
So just practice that lick. If you want tab, let me know. Just send me an email, loulombardimusic@gmail.com, Stone in Love. And what I'm doing is doing a hammer-on pull-off from the B to the C, back to the B, and then open A. And then right before we play the final G for the chord, I add the F sharp on the 6th string on second fret. And you're right back into it. Okay. There you are. Stone in Love.
Yes.
By Journey and that. Neal Schon, the great Neal Schon. So let's, I think we should do Movie Corner.
Sure, why not?
We did some edits good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do our movie corner. So
All right.
you watched a little. So Mr. Pittsburgh, you didn't actually watch any movies this week, but you did do some movie kind of podcast.
Yeah, I follow Red Letter Media on YouTube, and this was actually from a couple of years ago, but it popped up, and it was their take on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey. And I like watching these because sometimes there's little things that I miss in the movie. Sometimes there's behind the scenes things that I didn't know. So in regards to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I found out, and I don't know if I knew this prior, but the time machine, the time vessel that they used was supposed to be a van, because every band, these guys want to be in a band. Every band has a van. The only problem was Back to the Future had been released. And the producers feared that, that they're taking a van. That's just like the DeLorean. So they're like, okay, we're not going to use a van.
Yeah, I can see where that would be a situation.
So, they're like, well, okay, they're like, you know what? A phone booth. So that's how that came about, Nat.
Wasn't it, just a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Mr. Loudini, do you have to use the restroom?
My question is, wasn't Doctor Who, didn't they get around in a phone booth?
Exactly. And that's what Red, as soon as they talked about that, they showed the Doctor Who phone booth flying. I'm like, yeah, good point. This iced tea is divine. Another thing that I did not know, and I thought I knew a lot about movies, was, the very end, the big production.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, that was not the original ending. What
was the original ending?
The original ending is they're just like in the classroom, and they have all the historical features in the classroom. The class is sitting there, and each one would kind of get up and just say something about his past. And they shot it for one day. There is some footage of it. They shot it for one day, and the director's like, this ain't gonna work, because it was so. It took the movie to a screeching halt. It was just so boring.
You needed a bit after all that build up. No, you definitely have
to
have
have something really big.
Yeah, like a set piece at the end. It would be cool. Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of. I didn't know that about the classroom scene. So as for Bogus, there's a lot of nods, and I caught this when I first saw the film. There's a lot of nods to other movies. Denominus, do you remember him? He was the bad guy.
Right.
Diplomatic Immunity. That guy, remember him? Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. His entrance, and they played it side by side.
Battleship. Right.
Yes. Anonymous's entrance into the classroom when he's established as the villain is very Vader-esque. And to add to that, Rufus was at one time his student, much like Vader and Kenobi. Yes, I thought that was kind of interesting. A huge nod to Star Trek, where they went to the Gorn location after watching the episode. That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember going to see. I remember when I saw that. I picked that up. I'm a massive Trek nerd.
Yeah.
So and I had seen that episode where he fights the Gorn.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun. That music is great. I was hearing that music. Yeah. They go right there. Yeah.
And if you've seen this movie, you probably catch that and know anything about film. The character of Death is a nod to the Seventh Seal. If you remember,
right?
Yep,
oh yeah.
Yep. I love that guy. That guy. He's in Shawshank Redemption. He's the one that Brooks holds the knife to the neck.
That guy, what's his name? William Sadler.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of things.
Oh, of course he is.
He is in Demon Knight, the Tales from the Crypt movie. With it has Billy Zane is in it. It's got a big cast. There's tons of people.
Yeah.
It was the first Tales from the Crypt feature film that they did. And
yes.
He's the main hero. He's in it. He's in Star Trek. He had a recurring character on Star Trek. I like William Sadler.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. He's one of those ones where if he shows up in a movie, it's like a bonus. You're like, oh, it's that guy. So yes. Let's see. This is something I did not know, but I think in my subconscious I knew it. I just never really spoke it out loud in front of anybody. So when they're in hell and they're going through their own private hells, Bill's hell is being kissed by his grandmother.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Grandma. That's Alex Winter.
Right, I knew that.
I did not know that. Once I knew it, I could see it in his eyes. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But hey folks, if you like movies like Lou and I, give Red Letter Media a try on YouTube. They're a lot of fun. They kind of poke fun at things, but like I said, I learned some stuff about a movie. I did 2 movies that I did not know.
I really like those movies. I have the box set.
Do you have the third one though?
I did not have the third because the third one just came out. But I bought the box set in 19.
Oh yeah. I do. I have the same.
98 or something like that.
As a matter of fact, I just put because I saw it once.
It was all right. It was
all
good.
right.
It was way better than the fucking Matrix thing. Holy shit, that was horrible.
Yeah.
I heard the Wachowski brothers, they're whatever they are, sisters now, whatever they are. Well, they are. They trans.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't get the memo.
They sent. I heard that they intentionally tanked that so that they would never be asked to do another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There, we fixed it.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so all right, Red Letter Media, and then what was your Star Wars fact?
Oh, it's just something, and I might have been on Red Letter Media, but the blog. Oh no, it was a TikTok that hey Lou, you know me, I'm a Star Wars nerd. I love the Blockade Runner. That's the very first ship you see in the very first Star Wars, right? I love that Blockade Runner. I did not know it was meant to be the Millennium Falcon. Did you know that?
God, I heard that recently.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. The reason they didn't use it was the TV show Space 1999 had been released, and they were afraid that it's kind of it has a similar feel to the Eagle, which, by the way, yins out there, yins think, is it the Enterprise best starship, Millennium Falcon? I hear all the. No, dude, it's the fucking 1999 television series Eagle. I love that ship. That, man, because I saw that before Star Wars. But they were afraid it looked too much like the Eagle, so they literally did the Millennium Falcon from scratch. And which I did not know that. I did not know. I thought I knew everything about Star Wars, but I don't. But every now and again you find something.
Yeah, new. It wasn't exactly the Blockade Runner.
Right.
It actually looked more like the Eagle, even than the Blockade Runner. But they did morph that into the Blockade Runner, and they completely redesigned and created the Millennium Falcon.
Yes, very interesting. All right, Lou.
No, the greatest starship,
yes,
in all of science fiction is the USS Enterprise. There's no. Yeah, I like the Eagle too. I was a big Space 1999 fan.
Yeah,
but it's the Enterprise, absolutely.
The Nostromo.
The Nostromo's cool. I like the Nostromo as well.
Prometheus. Yeah, we can get into that. That is not a topic for our podcast, but yeah. But Lou and I, we're big stores.
Did you ever? What's the documentary where Gene Roddenberry's son interviews George Lucas, and then the last question is who would win in a fight, the Millennium Falcon or the Enterprise?
Right? Who would, Lou?
So George Lucas was like, well, he was like kind of embarrassed by the question.
Starship,
so it just showed like I was kind of when he did that, I was kind of like bummed out at George Lucas. I'm like, why don't you just be cool?
Yeah.
Like, go along with the joke.
It's gonna be this. It's gonna be the Enterprise.
Yeah, you know
bro.
what I mean? Just go along with the joke and have fun with it. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? He had to have been, like, heard that before and should have had, like, some banter.
Right,
prepared,
yes,
Just to fuck around. Like, he was such a, he's like,
Stick in
this
the
is a
mud.
guy that takes himself too seriously.
Yeah.
That's I like George Lucas. God bless him. He takes himself way too seriously.
Just a little bit.
So I watched, I want to say, okay, I watched 2 movies, but there's a movie that I watched that I forgot to talk about on last week's podcast. Real quickly, I'd say I watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I rewatched that.
I've not seen it in a while.
Wow, it's hilarious. Terry Garr just disappears, like at the end of the first act.
Yeah.
That she never comes
That's
back.
it.
That's it.
You know why? She didn't support a man. That's why. That bitch is out of here. Yeah.
That's a great movie. But you were talking about, like, sometimes some actors like William Sadler just show. Lance Henriksen is in that movie. He has one line.
Oh, really?
He has one line. He's at the. It's during the big set piece at the end with the spaceship. They're getting ready for the spaceship to land.
Right.
And all that. And he has one line. He literally has one line. He's shown a few times, but he literally has one line.
Only one line.
Yeah, it's that's such an amazing film. That's all done with practical effects and opticals, and it's just absolutely stunning. And it's very, like, emotionally engaging.
Yes.
And I really watched it, and I've seen the movie several times, and I was completely entertained and engaged and enjoyed
gotta rewatch
seeing it,
it.
even though
Yeah.
I had seen it a whole bunch of times. It's just it's that fucking good. So I watched. Boy, the new movies. I guess Snow White, something like $300 million was spent on it, and I think it made something like 69,000 over the weekend. Not 69,000, 69 million.
But still, 69,000 would be better.
On a $300 million budget, so they didn't even make a third of what it cost. And, you know, nowadays, there was a time when a movie could gain a little bit you could get word of mouth in the theater. I'll
Right.
give you an example of 2 movies that got word of mouth in the theater. One of them was Die Hard.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of came out. People were like, "Oh, whatever." That's that guy from Moonlighting. Whatever. And then people started to see it. It was going
This
like,
actually
"Dude, you
pretty
should see
good,
this
bro."
movie. It's like really good. You should go see it. And it grew by word of mouth. The other one was RoboCop.
Yes.
It grew by word because people were like RoboCop, and I had
What is this, a Disney film?
Yeah, I had somebody tell me like, "Oh, you got to see RoboCop. It's great." And I'm like, "It sounds corny," and I went to see it. I was like, "Holy shit, man! It's violent as fuck. It's like a really good movie."
It's got good humor in it.
Yeah, it's ton.
Yeah.
It's Nancy Allen.
That's all you need right there.
So I watched. So I've been getting into older. I've been like kind of going back because some of the newer movies did.
Yeah.
So I watched The Gauntlet.
Oh, dude, Clint Eastwood?
East Clintwood. Yes, it
East
is.
Clintwood?
Yes, this is. I said wood.
You said wood.
I said wood.
You're crazy.
Yes, this is.
What year is this?
1900. This is from the late
1900?
It's from the late 1900s.
Yeah.
Late 1900s.
Keep scrolling. 1977.
1977.
You're killing me.
God,
God damn you, Lou.
A hard but mediocre
He's
cop
hard.
is assigned to escort a prostitute into custody from
You
Las
said
Vegas
prostitute.
to Phoenix, so she can testify in a mob trial. But a lot of people are literally betting that they won't make it into town alive.
Oh my.
Clint Eastwood, Sandra Locke, and they were married at the time. Pat Hingle, who's a great actor.
Oh, Pat, yeah, I know him.
He's great in it as well. I highly, if you've never seen it, you should watch it. It is literally a gauntlet. They have, I mean, there's like it's one thing after another, like trying to stop them, and they are trying to subvert it. It's a they're saying here road trip, I guess.
Trip.
Action crime thriller. It's good. It's not perfect, and it has some logical flaws in it, but there's a great set piece at the end involving a bus, public, like what we would call a pat bus, but you know what I mean, like a Greyhound kind of bus. And it's really well done. There's some humor in it. I think some people don't realize that there's some great humor in it. It was directed by Clint Eastwood. 1977, a few years after he did Dirty Harry.
Uh-huh.
So the other movie I watched was Clint Eastwood's movie True Crime, which came out in 1999. So this is several years later. This is 22 years later. And this stars Clint Eastwood, Isaiah Washington, Lisa Gay Hamilton. This has a couple of Clint's children are in it.
Oh.
And they're very little. They're small. But James Woods, he acts primarily with James Woods and Dennis Leary.
Okay.
Dennis Leary,
okay.
Yes, the stand-up comedian. He plays it very straight. So
really?
He's not a wisecracking kind of guy.
Kind of a dramatic
guy.
kind
He's just a dramatic role for him. And James Woods and Clint Eastwood have this great banter that's really funny and everything. However, the movie also has a there's this like dark cloud over the movie because the Isaiah Washington character, Frank Beecham, is on death row and like due to be executed like that night.
Oh, wow.
And so it becomes like a kind of race against time and a mystery as to find out like what really happened, during this robbery. And it's very good. Bernard Hill is in it as well. Bernard Hill is in The Two Towers. He's King Theoden.
I was looking at his picture on screen. Yeah.
Michael McKean plays this very twisted reverend. Like, this guy's like bad fucking news.
Oh, my.
And I'm not really giving anything away. I mean, it's just the second he opens his mouth, you're like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. But it's great to see Michael McKean playing like a dirtbag. It's really cool because there's so much time. But James Woods is in it. He's great. Clint Eastwood's great. It's great all the way around. What is kind of funny about the Francesca Eastwood plays Kate Everett. She's a real little kid in this.
Layla Robbins. Do you know who she is? I have a crush on her.
What is she in?
She's in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay.
She's his wife.
Right.
And every time the film would cut to her, I'm like, oh, she's beautiful. But yeah, as soon as her name popped up. Like,
Eric
cool.
King plays Pussy Man. Literally, it says on IMDb. But the thing that I thought was
I wish I had that moniker.
One of the things that I thought was really funny or kind of interesting about and Lucy Liu has a very small role in the movie. Like it comes up on the screen, that she's one of the cast, and I'm waiting, and she's at the very end of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, she just has a couple of lines.
No.
So this is I think before she was really well known at all. But Eric King plays Pussy Man. But it's it's it has a little bit of problem with tone because there's this great comedy kind of literally great snappy hilarious dialogue between Dennis Leary and Clint Eastwood, and then the whole execution thing is really depressing, dude.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they show the guy in there and his kid comes to see him for the last time. Man. It's like heartbreaking, man. I was like, shit, man, that's fucking like that. Oh, Mary McCormick is in it for 5 minutes too. She went on. She's Howard Stern's wife in
that's
in
right.
Private Parts.
Yes. Very cool.
But one of the things I thought was interesting about the film was because it has a very strong message about racism. Okay, and which is funny because Dirty Harry, the original Dirty Harry, is very racist.
Yeah,
he's a total racist.
Yeah.
In it, at least a fascist, if not a racist, like
Crazy.
a total like authoritarian. By the way, most people use that word fascist wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. Most people associate fascism.
I'm the fascist of them all. Yeah. I can roll fascist.
You need to look that up. I'm not going to get into it here on the podcast, but look that up. You're thinking of that wrong. Fascism isn't far right at all. It's not. That's not what it is. You have to look it up. I'm not going to get into it. This isn't a political lesson.
This ain't one of them political places.
Right. So, but yeah, if you're going like, man, the movies today suck, I'm gonna check out the Gauntlet, check out True Crime. I think you'll have a good time.
You're gonna like it, Lou.
I know you're gonna like it.
Nice.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get out of here and start segment 2. I did not get into the rock stuff because we had such a good time here in the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah.
But, like, we've been gone about an hour.
I think there's alcohol in my iced tea.
Just on this, like some stuff that happened this week. Joe Cocker played the first his U.S. first US gig in '69.
Hardly know her.
Jeff Beck replaces Eric Clapton in the Yardbirds this week in 1965. This is pretty important shit, you know what I mean, in rock.
Shit.
You know, that important shit. Real quick, let's just throw some happy birthdays. We'll say happy birthday before we get out of here. Don't forget, guys, if you're looking for, you want to become a part of a great guitar lessons, group lessons, things like that, Lou Lombardi Music at gmail.com. Hit me up with an email. Keith Relf from the Yardbirds.
Oh, all right.
Randy Jo Hobbs from the McCoys. Ric Ocasek.
Ah, yes.
From the Cars. Chaka Khan.
Let me love you.
And
there she is.
And Rufus.
And Rufus.
Both happy birthdays.
Both
this
of
way.
them?
Both. Carol Kaye, happy birthday, as we
girl.
said earlier. Aretha Franklin.
Urethra.
Elton John.
Oh, look at that.
Diana Ross.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Fred Sheehan. Steven Tyler. Sarah Vaughan. Jazz vocal.
Not Vaughan.
Tony Banks from Genesis.
Yeah.
The genius bassist Victor Bailey, who's done a bunch of things. John Evan from Jethro
Tull.
Happy birthday to all y'all.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Go
to rockrageradio.com.
Or else.
I'll
find you. I've got a certain set of skills.
Right. Download the app or just listen right there on the website. And don't forget to check out music from the 412.com. There is great music programming there 24/7 as well.
Yes.
And all right, guys, stick around if you are listening on Rock Rage Radio, or you are part of our Patreon group, which is just getting started.
Yes.
Just getting started. I'm not. It's the page is live, but I need to add more content before I start telling you guys to go there and do stuff with it. But what you're going to be able to do there is you're going to be able to participate in our second segment. I have some different tiers there. You're going to be able to do different things there. So check
want you.
We will let you know. In the meantime, guys, have a great week. We'll catch everybody on the next Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
See ya.